On the afternoon of July 19th, the sightseeing vessel Vientiane 58, license plate QN 7105, departed at 12:55 p.m. with 46 tourists and 3 crew members on board, heading along the Route 2 Sungsat Cave, Thiệt Island. At 1:30 p.m., weather conditions suddenly deteriorated. By 2:05 p.m., the ship lost GPS signal and capsized due to a sudden storm accompanied by hail and violent gusts. At a government press conference, authorities in Quang Ninh confirmed, by 1:40 a.m., on July 20th, 45 people had been found, 10 survivors and 35 confirmed dead, while 4 remain missing. As soon as reports came in, local border guards, military personnel, police, and hundreds of fishermen were mobilized. Please subscribe to my channel to get the latest updates on natural disasters around the world as quickly as possible. Wishing you a great new day. Over 1,000 personnel and 100+ rescue boats and vehicles were deployed in a full-scale overnight search and rescue effort. Colonel Hoang Van Thiet, political commissar of the Quang Ninh Provincial Military Command, noted, rescue vessels reached the scene within 10 minutes. Provincial police reported that 80–90% of the recovered victims were wearing life jackets, and that the vessel had complied with national safety standards. However, the storm arrived so suddenly that warnings were issued after the ship had already departed. Among the deceased were members of a family from Bac Ninh province. Mr. Luong Van Yan, 39, and his 2 young children, aged 12 and 6, perished in the tragedy, while his wife survived and is currently in hospital. This tragedy deeply moved the public and government alike. Quang Ninh authorities offered support for the victims' families and promised special aid for the orphan children. Mr. Nguyen Van Kong, vice chairman of the Quang Ninh People's Committee, directly supervised rescue operations. The province convened press briefings and launched an immediate investigation into the cause of the accident, vowing to hold any parties accountable. The Department of Transport and Tourism is reviewing cruise vessel safety protocols. The Vientiane 58 was reported to have a safety coefficient of 2.3. The required minimum is 1.0, and the life jackets on board met national standards. Nonetheless, experts are calling for mandatory life jacket usage at all times, not just when risk is present. Wipha formed as a tropical depression on July 18 and intensified into the 3rd official storm of the year over the East Sea. By July 19th, as it moved toward northeastern Vietnam, it strengthened to level 10–11 winds, with gusts up to level 14–15. By the afternoon of July 20th, the storm was about 560 kilometers off the coast of Quang Ninh Hai Phong, with sustained winds of level 11–12, gusting to level 15, moving westward at 20–25 km/h. Since July 19th, Quang Ninh has been affected by heavy thunderstorms, strong winds, and hail. Forecasts for July 24th to 23 predict coastal winds of level 7–9, waves 3 to 5 meters high, and coastal flooding due to tidal surges. By July 22, the storm is expected to make landfall with winds dropping to level 10–11. The government issued Directive 1 and 12 CD-TDTG for urgent preparedness. Deputy Prime Minister Tran Hong Ha chaired emergency meetings with coastal provinces. The Ministry of Defense ordered round-the-clock monitoring at coastal stations, satellite surveillance every 30 minutes, and communications continuity plans even if telecom lines fail. Evacuation drills, dam inspections, and floodgate reinforcements were also underway, with loudspeaker systems used to alert local communities. Meteorologists warn that storms, torrential rain, flash floods, and landslides could persist through July 24th. Rainfall is projected to reach 200–300 mm, and in some areas over 600 mm. River levels could rise 3 to 6 meters, posing flooding risks to urban zones and lowlands, and landslide threats in mountainous areas. 35 people confirmed dead, 4 missing as of July 20th, 10 rescued. Deep national grief, especially for the family from Bac Ninh, whose father and 2 children perished. The Quang Ninh government committed to financial support for funeral costs and long-term care for orphans. The Vientiane 58 was a certified tourist boat, fully compliant with safety regulations. Still, it was caught off guard by rapidly changing weather. Though weather updates were issued at 1:30 p.m., and the boat had already set sail. The tragedy has cast a long shadow over Quang Ninh's tourism industry, especially the iconic Ha Long Bay. Authorities are now reassessing maritime regulations, emergency protocols, and weather response systems. The July 19th boat capsizing in Ha Long Bay stands as a somber warning about sudden extreme weather events during storm season in Vietnam's coastal regions. Despite all certifications and safety measures, the lack of timely weather alerts and rapid onset of the storm proved fatal. With Storm Wipha approaching, the public is urged to follow weather forecasts closely. Always wear life jackets on the water. Tour operators should only depart when safe weather conditions are confirmed. Local governments must review emergency alert protocols and invest in rapid communication systems. July 21st, 22, Wipha directly affects Quang Ninh and Haiphong with heavy rains, strong winds, high waves, and tidal flooding. July 22nd, expected landfall in northern Vietnam, weakening after impact. Citizens are strongly advised to secure property, prepare for evacuation if necessary, and avoid all marine travel during this period.